Which is a beauty, man. Okay, we're going tomorrow morning, by the way.
Sure.
Yeah.
Have you told Smudge?
I've asked Smudge. Smudge was like, he'll let me know.
All new hot and techy Brezza, the Citybred SUV.
Wow, just blown away by Bolt and Berger as the Boos travel to their home ground. It's getting hotter and hotter for Hardik Pandya and the Mumbai Indians. All they've managed is 125 at halftime after Sanju Samson and the Royals put them in. Half the wickets falling to the left-arm pace and swing and seam of Trent Bolt and Andre Berger. Yuzvendra Chahal accounting for not much damage in the middle and towards the end. Mumbai have even used their impact sub. Devil Brevis was one of 3 ducks in a row with Rohit Sharma and Namandir before him. It's all Rajasthan at halftime. Mitch McClenaghan along with Varun Aaron and Tom Moody on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout. We did not see that coming, gentlemen, given all of you went for scores in excess of 170, 180, even 200. Let's sum that up with the left-arm bowler, perhaps the theme of the evening.
Let's start with let's start with Mitch's pick.
Yeah.
Mitch's pick.
Rohit Sharma.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, look, I'll tell you what, Bolty returning to Wankhede was pretty impressive. And you also, I think that was the perfect ball, perfect execution to Rohit Sharma first ball. Expecting the in-swing of Trent Bolt, bowls a 3/4 ball, seams away. And it was a great catch from Sanju Samson, probably the best catch we've seen from a keeper throughout this tournament so far. And then the ball just rolled, getting Namandir straight away. And then Mumbai were in a position where they had to make a choice, right? Do they bring in someone later on, like Romario Shepherd or a Nabi, and they decided to go with Dewalt Brevis. And unfortunately, the punt for them didn't come off. And when you're 4 down in the power play, it's a bit of a struggle to get back to a competitive total.
Let me come to that impact sub use a little later. Let's just start admiring Trent Bolt. As bowling plans go, is that just the perfect way to start against what is still very much a formidable top order that Mumbai have?
Well, it was a masterclass, wasn't it? Left arm swing we know is effective at that venue, and he's also played at that venue with a Mumbai shirt on. So he knows very well what to expect when he's got a new ball in hand. He knows how the surface is going to play, the overhead conditions, because it can be quite humid in that stadium. So everything points to Bolt being a threat with a new ball. And he just showed his class because one thing that Trent Bolt does very, very well, he never wastes his first or second ball. He's normally bang on. So look out front pad or look out outside edge because he's always asking a question the very first ball or second ball. And tonight he was on.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's always featured in that top power play wicket takers.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if we dig up most wickets in the first over of an IPL game for a bowler, Trent Bolt will be right up there. And normally there's Bolt and there's someone at the other end, but what a good foil Andre Berger's turning out to be as well.
100%. I mean, Bolt, obviously, Tom's already touched on Bolt, unbelievable, world-class bowler. Andre Berger is a great foil to whatever he's doing. They offer two very, very different variations of the same spectrum. Left-arm seam, one is beautiful swing at really good pace. Andre Berger is rapid, tall guy, bangs it in. So you're getting 2 left-arm seamers, but one's hooping it around poles. The other guy is making you smell it.
Bowling rockets.
Yeah, absolutely. but look, let's not forget, if you let Hardik Pandya go on, they could have landed up with a respectable total. But Yuzi Chahal is just relentless.
Yeah.
He is the best spinner that has ever played the league. I don't know how India leave him out in their World Cup teams. Seriously, it's a mystery to me. But just their performance today, 4 overs, 11 runs, 3 wickets, And getting Hardik Pandya out at that stage, I thought was massive in the grand scheme of things. So yeah, I mean, and also he was my pick, so I need to talk a little more about him.
Okay, there's a lot happening, but since you've touched on a pretty big statement here of Chahal and his greatness, and I know
Just before you go to Chahal and his greatness, Bolt, since 2019, has taken a wicket in his first over 25 times.
Interesting.
By far the leader. The second is half of that, which is Chahal, Deepak Chahal,
yes,
from Chennai.
So basically, Tom and me are just trying to convince the producers that whose 3 wickets earns more points, Bolts or Uzis.
Oh, is that why you're building up? Is that why you're building up?
No. I was just
cleaned up the towel, didn't he?
Yeah. No. We can move on to now.
Yeah,
I just wanted to make that point because it just shows you how potent he is.
Yeah. I mean, if you want, you could even add another to Chahal because he ensured Tim David didn't come out.
Oh, I can't get my head around that stuff. I know there's a perceived weakness for Tim David against leg spin. Played down the wrong line of one of Rashid's balls the other night, which wouldn't have given them a whole lot of confidence. But I've just spent 6 weeks with him, and he's banged leg spinners in the nets, and he can still hit it. He can still do a job, and you've got to empower a player to go out there and try and show that they are good at something that you think they aren't good at. And tonight would have been the perfect opportunity for Tim David to come out against Uzi. He wouldn't have gone for 3 for 11. He might have got the wicket of Tim David, but I guarantee he would have tried to take him down.
I'm not sure that that batting order change was just down to the perceived weakness in leg spin. I think it's also
a spin thing.
No, I'm also thinking they're keeping David for the latter end of the innings. But to me, the horse had bolted. At that point, you needed David to face as many balls as possible and pull off a miracle 80 off 40 balls, which you can do, because we've seen his power hitting, but it just didn't make sense putting in a genuine number 9 in front of him.
The timing of the decision would have been at the fall of Hardik Pandya's wicket. That is the 3rd ball of the 10th over.
I think it was a mix of both because Piyush can play spin. At that point, they were going to bowl Uzi and Chahal for sure. Piyush is somebody who can play spinners better than fast bowlers, and Tim David is somebody who can obviously smack the fast bowlers better than spinners. And also, like Tom saying, keep him for the end. But at the same time, we've been saying this from the beginning, I feel the best players should get more time at the crease.
You have made a point as well that the fact that the decision was Chawla ahead of David at the fall of Hardik Pandya's wicket means he may have had little or no input in that call himself, the Mumbai Indians captain.
Yeah, 0 input, I would have thought, unless
before he went
in their
out to bat.
wildest dreams, in their pre-game planning, they're thinking, oh, look, if we're 6 down for next to nothing.
What if when Hardik goes into bat, right? And he says, right, if I get out in the first 10.
No, it wouldn't happen.
No.
That's an off-field decision, and that would have been a combination of Pollard and Boucher. There's a lot of experience in that dugout, hell of a lot of experience, and they would have made that call, and they would have had their logic behind that call.
You can see the logic. You can see the logic, right? If Piyush is good against spin, but he didn't come out with that intent. And generally, if you come out with that role to take down spin, you go after it. And he looked like he wanted to bat for some time and absorb that pressure. So maybe the thinking around it was, like you said, to leave Tim David for the back end.
Well, a couple of things here. I mean, I like Piyush. He's worked with us as well over here. But he's not Ashwin, Sunil Narayan, that category of batter.
I think they were hoping he would be today because at that point you have to hope that something comes off.
Okay. What it meant was, of course, that David would have even less partners to bat with, and it turns out to be a fairly timid innings, 17 of 24. So let's get a verdict on that before I go for earlier in the innings to the inclusion of Devil Brevis. Piyush Chawla over Tim David. Right call or wrong, or agree or disagree? Varun?
I would say Tim David before Piyush any day.
Mitch?
Yeah, I understand what they were trying to do, but I would have gone Tim David as well.
David.
All right, simple as that. Now let's go further up, right? Devil Brevis, not named in the batting 11, even though they were batting first. They named 3 overseas. He came in at the end of the first over when 2 wickets fell to Trent Boult. Tom?
It surprised me, but I understood they were having a bet each way with not naming all three overseas players, in my view, and they got caught in their worst nightmare, losing 2 wickets in the first over. Therefore, it forced their hand to play the specialist top order batter against. I think their pre-game planning would have been, in our ideal situation, we'll have Romario Shepherd come in, finish the innings, maybe the last 3-4 overs, bang a few sixes, and gives us some bowling depth at a venue that you can be vulnerable as a bowling attack. And he's also been bowling some death overs for the West Indies, so it just covers all bases.
It's the timing of it, given if you want to include a batting sub in the first innings, it's invariably after a collapse, like we saw with Delhi and Abhishek Porel. You wait for all your batting resources, at least a lot of them, to be exhausted. They did not, though, Mumbai.
Yeah, I guess that's my qualm with it, is that you've got Tilak Verma, who's India number 4, that's number 4, number 5, quality player. You've got to back that he gets himself through that period. And we've spoken at length about Hardik Pandya last year, the last 2 years at Gujarat Titans has batted 4 or 5. So you've got 2 players who are comfortable coming out in that position, would often have faced a new ball in the power play. It seemed to me just to be a little bit negative and not backing the resources that you had.
You're saying negative could also be panic. Did they press a panic button there?
Look, at the moment, the truth is, any decision the Mumbai Indians is taking is not going to their favour, which in hindsight we can break it down as panic. We can say whatever we want, but the same decisions, if they worked, it would have been like, okay, that's a great decision. But truth be told, they really need to get Hardik up the order. I would love to see Hardik up the order. He is somebody who can absorb pressure like he did today.
He looked good tonight.
Yeah, he looked good tonight. He absorbed pressure. He's somebody who can absorb pressure and then make it look easier for the batsman. Because the last thing you want is to send somebody who's inexperienced into a situation which is already on fire and then everything going to shreds. So I would have been like, Hardik, come up the order. He's done this before for Gujarat. They've been a few wickets down. He stabilized the ship and they've gone on to win matches.
Make another point there of it's also who you're sending in there. And Devil Brevis is exciting, but it's not like you have Kane Williamson on the bench. And you've said, right, Bolt is bowling.
It's a different conversation. But my view on the Brevis situation is that he is a specialist top order batter. So if you are going to press that, whether you want to call it a panic button or the exit button to get out of trouble, you've got to press it at that point. There's no point him coming in as a middle order batter. You need to do it at that point. That's the I suppose position that Brevis puts you in as a specialist 1, 2 or 3.
Because there's so much more that's happened in this game. We want to unpack it properly, but we will have the post show for that. Are we expecting something extraordinary here? Who knows? 125 defended, and we've seen funnier things happen, but surely Rajasthan Royals. Give me a specific prediction, gents, for the second innings. Tom?
I think the game will be finished in the 14th over.
Okay, easy as that. Varun?
I would say game's finished in the 12th over. Butler gets 50 plus.
Is he also in your picks?
No, he's not, but he would have been if I had the opportunity to pick first.
Wow.
Okay.
That's fiery from Aaron, again, after all these years.
Options, so that's it. No, look, they've never defended anything less than 139 at Mumbai. They will be creating history, so yeah, I don't think they'll be able to defend this, but I think it'll be a bit tight. I think it'll go 16th or 17th over.
They also have only one bowler arguably in form. I mean, Jasprit Bumrah's rarely out of form. If he has a bad game, that's fine, but he is the best in the world. He's not bowled in the power play much, and we've spoken a lot about that. With an average of just under 17 this season in 2 tough games for bowling, including an all-time record for runs scored, where he still just was head and shoulders above everyone else. The rest of the bowling at 65. Mapaka has the new ball. When would you throw it to Bumrah, Mitch McClenaghan?
Second over.
Tom?
First over.
Already an over.
No, let's be serious about this. You've got the world's best, if not the world's best, certainly in the conversation that in the grand final is the world's best bowler. And you've got a 17-year-old opening the bowling.
And you've got one of your lowest totals ever. So you give it to Bumrah.
I only said second because we've already seen the first over.
I would have given he should be walking in with the new ball.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'd be negotiating if he could bowl the second over as well.
Well, the panel's made itself pretty clear on where they stand on when Jasprit Bumrah should be given the ball, but young Kwenamapaka has the chance to bowl in a home game with the new ball. And he's bowling to a fellow player of the tournament in an Under-19 World Cup, Yashasvi Jaiswal, who's also at his home ground. So we see how this plays out. But the panel picks a comfortable win for the Royals. You can see why. Join us for post-match analysis, where I'm sure we will have more time to go into detail of how this season has started for both these two teams. On Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Time. Download the mobile app if you haven't already. And we will continue to give you live updates on the live report on the kind of reception that the Wankhede crowd has given this new look Mumbai Indians team. More at the end of the game.
All new hot and techy Brezza, the City Bred SUV.